Stop everything, because what you're about to hear will shatter your heart into 1,000 pieces. 1 month after his sudden and mysterious death, Hollywood has been turned upside down again because the hidden storage of Malcolm-Jamal Warner has finally been opened. Malcolm, the man who once lit up living rooms as Theo Huxtable, the boy who grew into a legend, is no longer here. But inside that secret vault, a storm of truth has been unleashed. Letters that bleed pain, photos that whisper loneliness, and recordings that no one was ever meant to hear. As the screen goes dark, the sound of sobbing fills the silence. Headlines flash one after another. Warner gone too soon. The hidden life of a Hollywood icon. A father's secret revealed. And then his mother's trembling voice holding a worn-out letter. "Son, the world is cruel, but you were always my pride." The words cut like glass. But it doesn't end there. From the shadows, the voice of his daughter pierces the silence. "Dad kept me hidden from the world, but now I cry for him in front of everyone. My hero is gone forever." The music swells, a haunting echo of grief. The storage box reveals love letters never sent, journal pages drenched in regret, and one recording where Malcolm whispers, "They love Theo, but no one sees me." This is not just a death. This is a legacy wrapped in heartbreak, betrayal, and unanswered questions. Malcolm-Jamal Warner's story did not end with his last breath. It has only just begun. And what lies inside his hidden storage will break the internet while breaking millions of hearts. The world thought it had already cried its last tear for Malcolm-Jamal Warner. His sudden passing had left millions broken, headlines dominated by disbelief, and fans replaying clips of Theo Huxtable just to hold on to a memory. But no one, absolutely no one, was prepared for what surfaced 30 days later. A small dusty storage unit tucked away in Los Angeles was opened by his family. Inside was not just old belongings, but an emotional time bomb waiting to explode. The cameras caught every second. The silence was deafening as the locks snapped. The door creaked open and a rush of stale air escaped like the ghost of a man who had been hiding for decades. Boxes piled high, stacks of journals, sealed envelopes, and VHS tapes with Malcolm's own handwriting scrolled across them. The words written on one box made everyone freeze. "Do not open until I'm gone." The air shifted. Even the strongest in the room couldn't hold back tears. This wasn't just storage. It was his soul, bottled up, waiting for the day he could no longer defend himself. One envelope lay on top, yellowed by time. His mother, her hands trembling, opened it first. Her voice cracked as she read aloud, "Dear Mom, I know you love Malcolm, but the world only loves Theo. And sometimes I wonder if I ever really mattered once the cameras stopped rolling." The words pierced like a knife. The man the world thought was adored, celebrated, and invincible was inside, crumbling under the weight of invisibility. And then came the photographs, dozens of them smiling on set, red carpet moments, public laughter. But when flipped over, the back of each photo had notes scribbled in his own hand. "This smile is fake. No one here knows me. I feel invisible even in the spotlight." The internet exploded as these images leaked. Fans who had idolized him suddenly saw the raw truth. His pain was etched behind every performance, every laugh, every interview. And just when the room thought it couldn't get heavier, his daughter's voice broke the silence. She had been standing quietly, clutching one of the smaller boxes. With tears streaming down her face, she whispered, "Dad never wanted me to see this, but maybe the world needs to know." Inside were cassette tapes, his private recordings. When played, his voice filled the room. No acting, no scripts, just a broken man confessing to the darkness that consumed him. "They'll never know the nights I cried myself to sleep. They'll never know how much I hated that the world remembered a boy, but never saw the man." Theo was loved. Malcolm was forgotten. The sound of his pain was unbearable. His mother collapsed, sobbing uncontrollably. His daughter covered her face, unable to breathe through her tears. The camera zoomed in on the tapes, the titles scribbled in rushed handwriting, "Regrets, Loneliness, Goodbye." And then the tape that changed everything. It wasn't just words. It was a confession, a love letter recorded but never sent. His voice shaking spoke directly to someone unknown. "I loved you, Oved. I loved you more than my fame, more than my own life, but I was too afraid to choose you over the spotlight. If you ever hear this, know that my heart never let you go." Gasps filled the room. Who is this mystery woman? The archive had opened not just his pain, but his secrets. Hidden relationships, a life the world was never supposed to see. News outlets ran with it instantly. Malcolm's secret love reveille. The tape ended, but the cries did not. The room was soaked in grief, and outside those walls, the entire world was trembling. Social media was no longer a place of entertainment. It had transformed into a memorial ground. Millions of fans from Los Angeles to Lagos, from New York to Tokyo, poured their hearts out in endless streams of sorrow. People wrote, "I grew up watching Theo. I feel like I lost my brother. This isn't just Hollywood. This is a tragedy for humanity. He was hurting all along and we never knew." But while the fans mourned, the storm inside Hollywood was only beginning. The networks that once profited off his laughter were now scrambling to defend themselves. Journalists demanded answers. How could a man who gave so much to the world feel so unseen, so unloved, so broken? The very people who once stood on stage accepting awards for his success were suddenly silent until the leaks made silence impossible. Because inside those boxes, beyond the love letters and the journals, there were contracts, signed documents that revealed Malcolm had fought battles no one ever knew about. He had begged over and over for scripts that gave him depth beyond Theo. He had asked for opportunities to direct, to write, to step into the next chapter of his career. But time and time again, the answer was the same. The world only wants Theo. It wasn't just rejection. It was erasure. His legacy had been caged, his talent suffocated. And now, from beyond the grave, he had exposed the ugly truth. The media ran with it. Warner betrayed by Hollywood. The dark side of fame. Theo was loved. Malcolm was forgotten. Fans turned their grief into rage. Petitions began to circulate demanding investigations into the exploitation of child stars. Former colleagues were dragged into the spotlight, questioned about what they knew, what they ignored. One by one, some spoke out. Tearful interviews flooded the airwaves. But no one's words carried the weight of his mother's breaking silence. In a trembling press conference, clutching her son's handwritten letters, she whispered into the microphone. They made millions off his smile. They built empires off his face. But when the cameras stopped rolling, they left him to die alone. My son was more than Theo. He was my child. And they broke him. The crowd wept with her. Reporters wiped their eyes as her words echoed like a curse against an industry that had chewed up a boy and spit out a broken man. But then came the twist no one expected. Among the contracts and letters was a single sealed envelope marked only with the words, "For the world to know." Inside was a handwritten confession that shocked even those closest to him. They want to call it an accident. They want to tell you it was sudden. But the truth is, my death didn't start in 2025. My death started years ago. Every time they told me I wasn't enough. Every time they locked me in Theo's shadow. Every time I walked into a room and no one saw Malcolm, another piece of me died. By the time my heart stopped beating, I was already gone. The internet broke. Fans couldn't breathe. Was this his way of saying his death wasn't just fate, but the slow murder of a soul trapped in Hollywood's machine? Theories spiraled. Some claimed foul play. Others whispered that his accidental death had darker roots. Hashtags turned into movements. Protesters gathered outside studios chanting his name, demanding answers. But behind the noise, the most heartbreaking moments were happening in silence. His daughter, his hidden daughter, began speaking out in a trembling interview. Clutching her father's journals to her chest, she revealed the truth about her secret childhood. He didn't hide me because he didn't love me. He hid me because he loved me too much. He wanted to protect me from this cruel world. But in the end, he carried all the pain alone. My dad was my hero, but I wish he hadn't tried to be so strong. I wish he had let me share his pain. Her words broke millions. Clips of her interview went viral, reposted with captions like, "This is the saddest thing you'll ever hear." And he suffered in silence to protect her. And then, the most haunting discovery of all. Inside a small wooden box tucked away in the corner of the storage unit, they found a stack of old VHS tapes labeled for my daughter. When played, the screen flickered to life, showing Malcolm years younger smiling, trying to hold back tears. "Sweetheart, if you're watching this, it means the world knows now. I'm sorry. I never wanted you to feel the weight of my sadness. I wanted you to live free, unchained by the fame that killed me. But I need you to know you are the best part of my life. You are my real legacy. Not Theo, not the fame. You. The room erupted again in sobs. His daughter buried her face in her hands, whispering through tears. Why did you wait until death to tell me this, Dad? Why didn't you say it when you were here? The tape spread like wildfire. Clips were posted everywhere. People kia.